Hey Clashers, one of the best and at the same time easiest strategy in the game is Dragon and Dragon Riders, and both of them have gotten a new level with Tower level 17. On top of that, we have the Tower Explosion removed, and this means cloned blimps are as strong as never before. So we're going to take advantage with that with using this strategy. But what hero should you use? Because obviously not everyone has the new hero upgraded. Well, I will go through all of those different combinations which are possible, the best equipment, and at the end of the video as well, what my personal recommendation is when it comes down to what I think is the best combination for heroes. But let's get started with the classic. And the classic is King, Queen, Warden, and Royal Champion all together. The equipments are the same as from before the update. Spiky Ball and the Earthquake Boots on the Queen, the Giant Arrow and the Healer Puppet. Warden, Eternal Tome, you can go with the Rage Gem or with the Healing Tome. I prefer the Rage Gem quite a bit. And then you can go with the Spear and the Shield on the Royal Champion. The overall setup is that you're going for a Giant Arrow to snipe one of the sweepers in the base, for example. And how you do that is you're localizing where exactly that target is. You're picking one outside building, connect those two things in your thoughts, and draw this line a bit further. That's where you're going to deploy the Queen, and you're going to hit those Giant Arrows. The next step is going to be Dragons in with the Dragon Riders and everything. And then just use the Warden ability, send the blimp inside the Warden ability towards the town hall, and just clone those balloons. On this one, well, the dragon got rotated in there, which makes this a little bit awkward here, but we still got most of the clones in there. We got the dragon's clone, which at least do some stuff, right? So this means that this should still work, because just how powerful this is. The Royal Champion is always going to be used on the back end. You want to snipe down air defenses, multi-archer towers, especially now because you have 3 of them to take down, and they can be really deadly to your troops. With that, the Royal Champ can easily take down the back end, everything is safe, and we have Dragon Riders at the top, Dragons at the top, Queen alive at the bottom side, and this base is just gone. So, the original heroes are still getting the job done. But is it really the best combination? I don't really think so. I think the Minion Prince can be incredibly strong in those air attacks. But let's just take a look at a couple of different combinations to then figure out in the end what the actual best combination is going to look like. Let's move on. And for the first Minion Prince combination, we are going to remove the Barbarian King. So instead of the Barbarian King, we're now going to have the Minion Prince. And you pretty much deploy him as you would deploy a regular dragon, but just delay him a little bit to make sure that he's not getting targeted right away. The equipments on the other heroes are still staying the same. On the Minion Prince, you don't have any options, so that is as well that case. Now, with the Warden and with the Minion Prince ability, you have 2 options. The first option is, well, you want to make sure that you're using the Warden ability first and then the Minion Prince, or the other way around. But make sure that you never overlap them. On this one, I've decided to use the Minion Prince ability early, because what it does, it's just going to slow down a huge area of the base quite a bit. And especially versus Rage Towers, that is an incredible thing to make your troops take less damage. But a lot of times you have to use that Eternal Tome ability to protect the blimp. On this case, the town was that close that we were fine, so we could switch things around. But those are always the 2 most important abilities where you have to pick it like order. Warden first or Minion Prince first, or the other way around. It always depends, and this is where it's becoming then a bit tricky. Again, on the back end, we're using the Royal Champ to snipe some more defenses. The remaining troops are pushing around, and you can see the Minion Prince deals quite a bit of damage, especially on the back end. And the Phoenix is just fitting perfectly for this hero, because that makes sure that we have still another Phoenix and the Minion Prince for a couple of more seconds, because the damage per second of this hero is quite impressive. With this, we're going to finish off the space. We have some more dragons at the top side, 2 more dragons on the left, the Queen is alive, the Phoenix is alive, so overall a solid attack. But there is one more combination we can go for, and that is removing the Royal Champion. I would not recommend you to remove the Archer Queen or the Warden. Those 2 heroes are too good that you would remove them. But the Baron King and the Royal Champion, you can both replace them with the Minion Prince. The question though is, what is the better option? So let's just give it a try to remove the Royal Champ, and then see what works best. And again, the equipments for every single hero over the entire strategy are always staying the same. King is always this combination, Queen always this, Warden always this, Royal Champ always with the Spear and Shield, and then obviously the common equipment for the Minion Prince. On this one now, we're going to take a look at the classic order of Minion Prince and the Warden ability. Again, Minion Prince a little bit delayed, and then protect that blimp to make it towards the core, which means Warden ability first. King now is going to be used to utilize and open up the compartments with the Earthquake boots. This is why I love this hero quite a bit. Again, space out the clones to make sure that you're covering as much for multiple reasons. Traps are less effective, you're covering more distance, and you can just trigger so many more traps. Now on the back end, you're using the freeze effect. Take a look at how slow this monolith shoots. Once, just freeze it. It has shot at this point 2 times. That's it. It has only shot twice over this entire attack, even though it was on the back end, which typically is a really good spot, a really good location for such a heavy hitting defense. So having this Minion Prince ability on the back end is just disgustingly strong, and this is why I would typically recommend this order as well. Even the king is alive, the queen is alive, and they're just pushing through easily. And as I said, since we're going with a super simple strategy, which is not running any super troops and especially super wall breakers, having the king in here makes sure that your queen can access the base. And this is what makes this combination quite strong. But now the question is, what is my personal favorite? Well, let's take a look. And even though I love the Royal Champion with the combination of the spear and the shield, I feel like just the tanking and the opening of the compartments the king provides with his equipment is just too good to not utilize that. Again, we're saying the same with the queen and with the warden, right? Like those 2 heroes are always in here. Minion Prince, I feel like, is really good with air attacks as well. That's why we're going to use it again. And, well, king is just here for tanking, because this is, like, in my opinion, the only weakness to this strategy. And that is that you don't have many spells because you're heavily committing towards that blimp. Again, by the way, spread everything out and you're fine. Now, as soon as the Warden ability is running out, we're going to use the freeze effect in the core and take a look at this. We have caught pretty much everything. Those multi-inferno towers are not doing anything anymore. But, as I said, the weakness of this strategy is that you don't have that many spells. And if you have your queen dying on the outside, you're not just wasting the healer power as well, but just wasting one of the strongest heroes in the entire game. So having the king now being able to open up compartments for her, tank for her, and deal a ton of damage with his spiky ball is just too good to not utilize. But this is again as well depending on what equipments you have upgraded. And this is the cool thing about this new system, right? If you don't have the Minion Prince equipments upgraded, just go with the original 4. If you have no Royal Gem equipments like the epic one, for example, go with that combination. You don't have the spiky ball and earthquake boots? No, don't worry. Just replace it with the Minion Prince. And this is really the cool thing. You can see in the end, we even swagged the king ability, and it is just so powerful. At the end of the day, though, every single combination is going to work. The army composition itself is just so strong that it should be able to carry your attacks even with having underleveled heroes or underleveled equipment. You should not worry about that too much. Otherwise, give it a try. The army link for this strategy is down below in the description. Let me know what you think and what your favorite hero combination is looking like for this strategy. And I wish you guys back tomorrow with the next strategy guide. Until then, see ya and bye-bye.